So now I will go to my next presentation. What do you know about Tantra? You are listening to my presentation because you're interested in Tantra. A lot of people have a misunderstanding of Tantra. When I invite them to my talk, they think Tantra is about having orgies, having sex parties, or prostitution. Sex is 1/7 of Tantra. But there are 6 other things that involve in Tantra. Tantra is about your trust, your safety, you feeling confident. Tantra is about your sexual awakening. Tantra is about deep intimacy and connection. Tantra is about love with no expectations. Tantra is about living in your truth and speaking your truth. Tantra is about awareness, consciousness. Tantra is about spirituality. So you see, orgies are only 1/7 of Tantra. I'm nothing bad about it, but it is only 1/7. So you cannot judge Tantra just by what you know. You need to explore. Tantra is the vast science, philosophy, religion, culture, way of life. It's an amazing practice that you can have a happy, healthy, blissful life. Now I'll explain. There are 4 schools of Tantra coming from 4 lineages for thousands of years. And unfortunately, each of these schools don't acknowledge the other school. They look at them as rivals. But I will explain the 4 schools of Tantra. The Tantra schools are based on the chakra chart that I've shown you here. Imagine our chakras are from the pelvic to the crown. In this pathway, imagine there's a very thin tube. We all have this invisible tube. And what this tube does is, it creates a passage for our energy to be created in the pelvic basin and to allow this energy to move towards the crown. Now, what ancient practices do, they open up this tiny little pathway to a wider pathway to allow the energy to move. So I'll explain to you different Tantra schools how they do that. The most popular Tantra school is called White Tantra. What White Tantra people do, they do non-touch work. They do meditation by themselves, they do yoga, tai chi, body movement. All the White Tantra work, you don't need a partner. You can do this by yourself. And what White Tantra people do is open the 6th and the 7th chakra, the upper 2 chakras in the body. What they do is, this narrow, thin pathway, they make the crown and the third eye passage so wide. By making this pathway wide, it has the ability to pull the energy, sexual energy, from the pelvic base into the crown. So the White Tantra practices, they make this pathway wide on the 2 chakras, on the third eye and the crown, to enable them to pull the sexual energy upward, and they do this by themselves. This is the most popular, the famous tantric practices that are all over the world. The next school is called Pink Tantra. With the people who do Pink Tantra, what they do is, they work with mantras, with the throat chakra opening, with heart opening, with love, and third chakra with intimacy work. So you need a partner to do this work. So 2 people with gentle touch, smell, and eye gazing, connecting with each other without touch, You can actually open the heart, certain sounds, you can open the throat. And what these people do is, this school open these three chakras in the middle part of the body, make the cylinder so wide, enabling them to pull the sexual energy from the pelvic basin and push the sexual energy into the crown. And this is the way the second school works, Pink Tantra school. They are the second most popular schools in the world, Pink Tantra school. And the third school is called Red Tantra. Red Tantra people are body workers. They work on the body and they work on the pelvic basin, genital de-armoring, Yoni massages. Yoni is the Sanskrit word for the vagina. The lingam is the Sanskrit word for the penis. Lingam massages and the male prostate massages, which is the G-spot of the man. I will talk about this later on, how this is done. And these people work on the pelvic basin of the man and the woman, and this school is called Red Tantra. These schools are not so popular, and there aren't many schools in the world. And also, the irony is, the white Tantra schools do not recognize the Red Tantra schools. They think they are bad people. So, because they come from thousands of years of lineage, and they believe only one thing, and they are good at it, but they don't recognize the other school. With my experience of so many years of the work that I have done, I believe if you want to really study Tantra, you need to understand and accept all the three schools, White Tantra, Pink Tantra, Red Tantra. Because some of the people who are doing Red Tantra could be very blocked in the spiritual chakras. So they are only working on the sexual area. Their spiritual chakra is not open. So they find difficulties of moving energy. Same way, there are lots of gurus in temples with the White Tantra ashrams. They are very open spiritually, but they are very blocked sexually. And they actually create more problems in the temple than anybody. So, I believe to really understand and embrace Tantra, you need to learn all the three schools. And when you learn the three schools, you can actually understand what the next Tantra school is about, which is called Black Tantra. Now, there aren't many schools in the world with Black Tantra. The black is looked at in a negative way in the present world, but black was looked at in a spiritual way in the ancient times. Black Tantra involves charging a battery. You need two people for this, using sexual energy. So you need masculine and feminine to practice Black Tantra. You need love, connection, and you unlock your past wounds, allowing the energy to free flow throughout the body. Now, there are some people, when you learn Black Tantra, can be used in a negative way. I agree with that. It's a very powerful tool when you learn Black Tantra. Yes, there are people learning Black Tantra have used it in a negative way. But also there are people who have used Black Tantra in a very positive spiritual way. It all depends on the intention of the person, not the Black Tantra itself. Black Tantra is very pure. But if the person's intention is not pure, then you could harm people. But if the intention is pure, you can create absolute miracles by using Black Tantra. You have heard black magic, and you can actually perform magic. Unbelievable things that you can do. And when I explain, people don't believe. You need to experience this yourself to understand what does it mean. The symbol of Black Tantra is a man masculine sitting down with his consciousness in stillness. And the female is actually dancing on his lingam. Now this looks like a sex position, sexual act, but it has nothing to do with sex. This is the highest form of tantric meditation. Yes, it may include the penetration, but no movement. The movement is with the energy, not with the lingam. The movement is the energy while two people are in stillness. And you can stay like this for 10 hours. You will feel bliss. The time will pass so quickly, you will not know you have been there for 10 hours. You think you've been there only for 10 minutes. You come to stillness, as if a spaceship is traveling in space. You can't see it moving. You think it's in stillness. That's the place you will be. The person, the male figure, is called Shiva. And the female figure is called Shakti. So very different to the way that we know how we have sex. You pin down a woman and you do push-ups. And this innocent woman is not feeling anything, completely shut down. She will fake the orgasm just to stop this act. This is not love-making. The love-making is done by the woman. Woman has to take the man in when she wants, not when the man wants. And it's a woman's dance on the lingam, not the man's doing. Man is in stillness, and the woman is ecstatic dancer on the lingam. This is the only way that a woman can experience this full body experience that I showed you earlier. To be ecstatic all the time, not once, all the time. And to be multi-orgasmic and full body orgasmic. Any other way, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. So what do we need to do? The man has to raise his consciousness to be able to stay in stillness. Not to be the doer, but to be present in the moment with love and consciousness. Allowing the woman to take the lead, to be the Shakti, to be awakened. This is the symbol of Tantra, and it's called Black Tantra. Now, I'd like to share with you a complete different subject. What is an orgasm? Why do we need to have it? What is its purpose? What is its function? Can we be without it? Let me know what your answers are. Now, I'll explain it to you. What is an orgasm? Orgasm is energy in motion. Ancient people, they explain this really well. They called chakras. We have chakras in our body that creates energy and moves energy from one place to another. So chakra 1 is in the pelvic area, we call root chakra. And this energy moves from the root chakra to the crown chakra. This is the flow of energy. So now I'll show you in this video how the energy moves and explain what an orgasm is. Now a lot of people, when I asked my clients, do you have an orgasm? They say yes, they do. So what they mean is, they have a sneeze between the groin. That is not an orgasm. Orgasm is something that you experience in your mind in the third eye. It's a mind-blowing experience. And it's not a one-time experience, it's a multiple-time experience. So a lot of people don't understand this. So they say, I'm happy because I have orgasms. But they don't understand, they haven't discovered what they're missing. So I'll explain to you what an orgasm is. Now I'll show you in this video how the orgasm moves the energy. Now if you see this video, energy moves from the pelvic towards the crown, shooting each and every chakra at a time, and the energy fuses in the sixth chakra in the third eye, and this is where the fusion takes place. This is where the orgasm happens. So, if you have experienced knees between the groin, it's worthwhile experiencing this full body experience as an orgasm. And multiple times. It's not a one-time experience. You can have this multiple times and all the time. And everyone can experience it. But what is stopping this experience is because some of the chakras in our body can get blocked because of past negative events that has taken place in our life. Say for example, if you were heartbroken in your relationship, you could never experience this energy moving away from the heart. It will only stop at the heart because heart is closed, so energy cannot move upwards. So therefore you cannot experience if you're heartbroken. Your heart has to open fully for this energy to move throughout your body. Sexual negative events in the past, you cannot even create this sexual energy in the pelvic area. So therefore you cannot move this energy. Or if you had intimacy problems, energy cannot move towards the third chakra, away from the third chakra. So different emotions, when they get stored in different chakras, it blocks or reduces the energy flow. So therefore you cannot experience this energy. So now I'll explain it to you what these chakras are. You can see this chakra chart. Root chakra is in the pelvic, and then the second chakra is the sex chakra, and the third chakra is solar plexus, intimacy chakra, and the heart chakra is for love in the heart, and the throat chakra is for communication and living in your truth. And the third eye chakra is the sixth chakra, and then the crown chakra. Now if you look at this diagram, you will see it has 7 different colors. Now these 7 different colors means it is actually the same 7 colors of the sun, rainbow colors. That means if we have any problems in our body, if we just stand in the sun, expose our body to the sun rays can stimulate, activate our chakras and repair our body. And the negative emotions make us happy. That's why in the summer times we become happy. In the winter time people become miserable. It's because lack of sun. So the sun has the ability to revitalize, to re-energize our chakras and allow the energy to flow throughout our body. And also you can see in this chakra, each of the chakras, you have a little symbol. It's a Sanskrit word that you have. These are called mantras. So if you see, the root chakra has got lam sound, and the sex chakra has got the vam sound, and the third chakra has got the ram. So like that, chakras have got a different sound. This different sounds, these are called bija mantras. Different sounds can activate your chakras, allow the energy to move through the body as well. And also, you will see another image of each of the image in this chakra chart is different. If I ask you what these images are, the image is actually a cross section of the lotus flower, as if we are looking from the top of the lotus flower. What you see in the root chakra is 4 petals open. What you see in the second chakra is 6 petals open. And third chakra, 10 petals open. Heart chakra, 12 petals open. Throat chakra, 16 petals open. What you see here is, as we go up in the chakras, you need to open more petals. That means you have to work harder as we go up in the chakras. So When you look at it, to open the throat chakra is more difficult than opening the sex chakra. What it means is, just imagine, it's difficult to fall in love, but it's easy to have sex. It's difficult to live in your truth by speaking your truth, but it's easy to have sex. Sex is only 6 petals. To speak your truth, you need to open 16 petals. It's more difficult. So now, all these different things are because of the emotions that are stored in different chakras. But I was really confused. Why is these chakras going up from 4 petals to 6 to 10 to 12 and to 16 up to the throat chakra? And suddenly when you go to the third eye, 6th chakra, what you see is 2 petals. It's not 34 petals or something. I was very confused. And then when you go to the crown chakra, they say you have 1,000 petals. What happens is, it gets more and more difficult to speak your truth. But when you live and speak your truth, the energy that's going outwards, something magical happens when you live in your truth. Energy crosses the pathway and it fuses in the third eye. This is where the orgasm happens, in the third eye, in the pineal gland. And after fusing in the third eye, the energy pathway goes to 1,000 petals, which is opening your spirituality. It's a lifelong opening. Ancient people explain this concept so beautifully. Today, science calls these chakras endocrine system, our hormone producing glands. But yet, science does not have the knowledge what the ancient people had. Still they don't have this knowledge. Maybe one day they will discover through research. Now, let's find out the function of the orgasm. Why does this energy move up to the throat? And when we scream so loud, we fuse our orgasm and feel it in our head. How does it happen? What is its function? What is its purpose? If you see, ancient times, people explained this so beautifully, but recently science has explained this. What they did was, they stimulated the pineal gland manually to find out what happens to our body. And through research they found, by stimulating the pineal gland, it activates the stem cells in every part of our body. Now we have stem cells in every cell in our body. The purpose of the stem cells is to repair our body when the body gets damaged and dysfunctional or get ill. But the stem cells don't activate until you get a command from the pineal gland. So when you stimulate the pineal gland only, the stem cells get activated and start repairing our body. So what this explains is, every time we have this beautiful chi energy moving and fusing in our third eye, in the pineal gland, it activates our self-healing repairing mechanism. Without any external substances, you can heal your body by doing these ancient yogic practices. Even if you just shake your head like this for hours and hours and hours, it stimulates the pineal gland and activates the stem cells. It kickstarts our self-healing repairing mechanism, increase our immune system, so we can live a healthy, happy life, not only having an amazing ecstatic orgasms. So the function of the orgasm is not just for procreation or for pleasure. The real function is to help us activate our self-healing repairing mechanism. And this is a lifelong process of clearing our chakras that are blocked with negative events in our life. And once you clear these negative events, I have seen thousands of women experience this energy movement throughout their body. It's a beautiful to observe this amazing experience they have. You don't even have to touch the body. Energy just moves. And you can experience this throughout your life. But people don't know about this. People don't talk about it. Why? The religion, the culture, the upbringing have blocked our natural process. We have put on external substances for our happiness.